Hi, this is Cheryl Gallant, your Conservative Member of Parliament for the riding of Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke, home of the best maple syrup in the world. We're live here from Ottawa, and while Parliament is not in session, we have activity today here on the Hill. Today saw testimony by the Prime Minister's disgraced former Principal Secretary. We also heard from the current clerk of the Privy Council, who is the Prime Minister's personal Deputy Minister, and we were given yet another version of the SNC scandal. Before we go to the Justice Committee, let's go back and look at how this whole debacle unfolded. It is not about SNC-Lavalin being caught making illegal campaign contributions overwhelmingly to the Liberals. It does not relate to the recently convicted former SNC-Lavalin executive who was found guilty of breach of trust in attempting to bribe public officials. It starts with SNC-Lavalin as a company being charged with bribing foreign officials in Libya. Faced with a 10-year ban on getting contracts from the federal government, SNC-Lavalin assembled a big league lobbying campaign to avoid a trial. The lobbying worked because the Trudeau Liberals inserted a special law into the 2018 budget. It could allow SNC to avoid prosecution for bribing Libyan officials. This was yet another broken Trudeau promise not to use budget bills for non-budget related laws. With its new custom order law, SNC-Lavalin wrote to the Office of Public Prosecutions and asked for special consideration in getting a stay of prosecution. Canada's Director of Public Prosecution reviewed the matter and decided that SNC-Lavalin did not qualify to be invited to defer the prosecution for bribery. Once rejected, SNC-Lavalin called upon the Prime Minister's office and asked if Trudeau would intervene to overrule the decision. When the now former Attorney General reviewed the matter, she agreed with the Director of Public Prosecutions. She told the Prime Minister she would not interfere with justice. That's when the Prime Minister reportedly said, "I'm the member for Papineau, a Quebec MP." With that declaration, the former Attorney General took it to mean that what mattered most wasn't whether the law was valid in this case or not, but that Trudeau and the Liberal Party's interests come first. The former Attorney General said no, she would not give SNC-Lavalin a special deal. But the Prime Minister would not take no for an answer. As one young female reporter at the Kokanee Summit learned many years ago, Trudeau does not understand that no means no. The Prime Minister's Deputy Minister then took his turn in pressuring the former Attorney General. His Chief of Staff went to pressure her. His Principal Secretary went to pressure her. The Finance Minister and his Chief of Staff pressured her. Despite this continued and sustained pressure, the former Attorney General held firm. A cabinet shuffle occurred with the departure of the Treasury Board President, but that's another scandal. She did the right thing. And Trudeau wants the Canadian people to think her going from her dream job to Veterans Affairs was not punishment for denying him what he wanted. When word of all of this finally reached the media, the response from Trudeau was that it was all just fake news. When more details were confirmed, Trudeau claimed that nothing was wrong, then pointed to the fact that the former Attorney General was still in Cabinet. She resigned from Cabinet shortly after he said that. So first Trudeau said nothing happened. Then he said if something happened, It wasn't improper because the former Attorney General was still in cabinet. After she quit, Trudeau tried blaming this on the cabinet shuffle itself. After the media and most Canadians stopped laughing at Trudeau for that excuse, he tried blaming the former Attorney General. She had been bullied, and Trudeau responded by blaming her for not reporting the bullying. Denials, excuses, blame shifting. That's not leadership. That's not how a real Prime Minister should behave. This failure of leadership is why Trudeau lost another minister this week to the same scandal. The now former Minister of Health, Indigenous Affairs and Treasury Board President wrote that she had lost confidence in the Prime Minister and his handling of this scandal. Now, today we finally heard from Trudeau's brain trust, and who was also a former McGuinty fixer. The new line is that this was all just a misunderstanding and that the Liberals' only concern was protecting jobs. The only jobs they were concerned about were their own. That's what this is all about. Once again, the Liberal Party puts its own interests ahead of the law. Once again, the Liberal Party changed a law, pressured a minister to protect a friendly Liberal corporation. Once again, the Liberal Party, led by Trudeau itself, finds itself steeped in corruption. We've seen this story before. We saw it under Dalton McGuinty in the gas plant scandal. We saw it under Jean Chrétien and the sponsorship scandal. First, they deny, then deflect, then downplay. They'll say it had to break the rules to save jobs or save the environment or save the country. It's always the same with these Liberals. The only principle they hold to is that they are entitled to be in power. Until we get a full public inquiry and an RCMP investigations, Canadians will continue to lose confidence in this government. If you want to get the full story out of the Liberals, we need a full public inquiry. I encourage you to go to cherylgallant.com/Trudeau-scandal and sign the official House of Commons e-petition. Please sign the petition and share it with your friends and family. Only with the overwhelming pressure of the public will these Liberals relent and allow the truth to come out. If you have any questions about LavScam, please leave them in the comments below. Live from Ottawa, this is Cheryl Gallant.